自我介绍是个非常重要的课题，但在不同的场合往往需要不同的模式。那今天的单元就让我们来分享该如何在社交场合做个轻松又容易记得的自我介绍。Hello， 欢迎来到 Executive Plus 主管与沟通力的 Podcast。I'm Sherry, an educator, certified coach, and style enthusiast.我相信专业有效的沟通是语言跟逻辑的完美结合。
And I'm Nick, a startup consultant, corporate trainer, and late-night gaming junkie. I believe great communication requires the right mindset and solid frameworks.
我们希望带给大家职场英语的技能、跨文化沟通技巧与其他能帮助您成为出色领导者的工具。
Join us each week as we share our experience, research, and methodologies to take your communication and language skills from good to great. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Executive Plus podcast. Today's episode, we're going to talk about self-intros. Now, those of you who have been with us from the beginning may think this is a familiar topic. Well, we did this back in episode 2. Not 102, actually just number 2. But back then, we were looking at how to develop a professional self-intro for your resume. In this episode and the next one, we actually want to re-look at self-introductions, starting with how do you just introduce yourself in a more casual situation? We've all been in that meeting where it's with a new customer, a new client, or just even like an internal team meeting where someone has the bright idea of let's go around and introduce ourselves. And everyone in the room goes, oh crap.
Oh my God.
So today we want to talk about, in a more casual situation, how do you have a fun or cheeky intro? And then if you join us for the next episode, we'll talk about how to upgrade to a little more professional.
那今天的单元我们就来 focus 在如何在社交场合中能够做你的轻松的自我介绍。因为大部分的人呢，说到自我介绍，马上会跳进那种很正式的那种 work 自我介绍，比如说可能是面试时候需要的，或者是站在台上所需要的。但是在这种比较轻松的场合呢，反而你把它做得比较有趣一点，能够让人家更容易记得，然后更会想要跟你做接下来一些交谈。Let's start with one tip that we want to give you guys is using numbers. 我们在做 presentation 的时候，甚至写 email 的时候，常常都会说啊，利用这种数字。因为数字是我们大脑最容易去记的一个东西。当然我们在讲的数字是不要用那种太复杂的数字，用这种很简单好记的数字。So let me give you guys an example. You can say, I always say I have 3 careers, 2 kids, 1 cat, and 0 regrets.
That 3, 2, 1, 0 is just kind of a really fun and cheeky way to use numbers to have people remember. So you can definitely do the 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Or you can just use like a single number to grab people's attention. So I may say something like, in the last 7 years, I've lived in 7 different cities and led 7 different lives.
或者如果你是 let's say you are a travel blogger, you can say 1 man, 1 computer, 100 stamps in the passport.
And just kind of using these numbers is a really fun way to get people to remember. And it's not as serious as like, okay, I must think of these things.
Right.
But when you have this sort of fun wordplay, it often causes people to go, ooh, I want to know more about that. Or I want to think about these things. And it's just a nice segue for them. If they want to get to know you better, they can ask.
All right. So obviously we have a podcast. And how do we introduce ourselves? So what I came up with was 1 podcast, 100 books, and countless cups of coffee.
My version was 2 hosts, 2 cups of coffee, today.
Like as in today.
Yes, as in today. Or you could play with 1 podcast, 2 hosts, countless hours of fun.
Yeah, so I think with like cheeky introduction 这种比较有趣轻松一点的，真的能够让人家会比较想要继续问你问题。
Definitely.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you do it really effectively or you think carefully about what you're going to choose, it creates that really easy lead-in to finding the common ground to talk about.
Exactly. So here's another tip for you guys. So we talked about numbers. 那我们接下来就讲一种就是叫做 contrary fact， 也就是相反的东西 right？ 相反的东西通常都也是比较能够让对方能够记住。I'm going to give you guys an example. So to introduce myself, I can say, my name is Sherry. Not an interesting name, but quite an interesting career path. I was an accountant, luxury brand sales associate, and now I am currently an education podcaster.
So that contrast is a lot of fun. For me, it's even shorter. My name is Nick. I run a small company coaching people with big ideas.
Wow. Nice taglines. 所以就是利用这些比较相反的东西 right？ 刚刚 Nick 有讲嘛 small company 然后是 big ideas 这种相反的东西 again 我们不需要用到一些那么难记的一个字其实我们用很简单的 vocabulary 也就好了当你在做 introduction 你需要的就是对方能够好记嘛那我们刚刚也讲的这些数字啊都是很好记的数字我们不会去找一些那种什么281啊这种比较难记的数字 Keep it simple, keep it fun and yeah, I think you'll have a very interesting self-introduction.
I think one of the key ideas is lend a little mystery. So for example, in Sherry's contrary facts, if she had just ended at but had quite an interesting career path and left it there, it's going to create that, ooh, what does that mean? Like, where did you go? What did you do? Anytime that you can use a number or use a contrary fact to create a little bit of mystery, that's a nice connection point. That's a great place to start. If you have great ideas for how to introduce, share with us on our Facebook or any other place that you can find us. We would love to know what your cheeky self-intro is. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
The Executive Plus podcast is a Presentality Group production, produced and hosted by Sherry Fang and Nick Howard. You can search us on Facebook, 主管英文 Executive Plus. You can also find us on Instagram, Communication R&D, and email us at sherry@epstyleplus.com.